You've made it to History in the Hand Metal Detecting. I'm Steve, and you are invited to join me as we detect for just a little while before dark.
Big old piece of copper wire. 1995. This is evidence that there were boys in this house. The plate from an old clock. Little history right there. There's a part of a buckle is a hinge to a toilet seat.
Black flies and the mosquitoes. Enjoy the comfort of your own home.
Peace. Nope, ain't gonna happen, Captain.
Around this house in the background, that's one of the oldest houses in this village. It would have been very early 1900. So let's see what we can find, see if we can get some history to hold right in our hand. Come on along.
Well, that's our first high tone. And that is a big old piece of copper wire. Yep, that was our target. All right, on to the next. More of the same. That's why it was a that's why it was a similar VDI. Boy. Well, where there's trash, there's treasure. All right, 1995. Well, it's about 100 years from what might be possible here, but a quarter is a quarter. On to the next. Very close to the surface. Not old, but too clear sounding for me to pass it by. Dime. On to the next. Well, this is evidence that there were boys in this house. This is 2 fired cartridges pounded together. And boys will be boys. A smaller one driven into a larger one. I love it. That goes in the interesting things file. On to the next. What we have here is the plate from an old clock. And there's one of the little gears. I will ask old Len if he he remembers this. Now there could be a manufacturing date or something underneath there, but boy, I doubt we'll get to it. But a little bit of history right in our hand. Cool beans. Wonder what time it is.
Hey, before these black flies suck all of the blood out of me and I pass out right here, if you're enjoying the hunt today and want to join us here at History in the Hand on some other hunts in the future, why don't you go ahead and click subscribe? What could it hurt? Anyhow, back to the hunt. Thanks.
Now this is kind of cool because usually I only find these rivets. I hardly ever find the leather still in them. So that's kind of cool. Wow. So this must have been some horse tack. See, there's another one of the rivets right there. And this may have come off there. So that would have been probably from the bridle of a horse or some sort of horse harness. So that's cool. Little history right there. We're going to save that. Oh, there's a part of a buckle right there. So that's interesting. Yep, just little pieces. Gosh, there's glass out here and everything. Cool. Ah, that's cool. History in the hand. That's why we're here. Thanks for coming along. On to the next. Okay. All right, so I think I know what this is. I think this is a hinge to a toilet seat. And I'll bet you that there was an outhouse right out here, just a stone's throw away from the old house. So, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call. Nature's call. All right, on to the next.
Now, one of the cool things that you don't have to endure is all the black flies and the mosquitoes that I am dealing with. Did you know that black flies can crawl underneath your earphones and then bite you in the ear? I know that now. Enjoy the comfort of your own home. On to the next.
Well, you know, it really wouldn't be metal detecting if we didn't find one of these, would it? Absolutely, it would not. So, that's what I guess we would call vintage. Get a load of what's right next door. That is the Schoolhouse, which has been converted into a camp. So I'm gonna hang around here and see if I can. There's been a ton of excavation in the area, but maybe the kids were running over here in the yard. Who knows? Got what I think is a repeatable high tone here, but gosh, it's awful close to the surface. Bullet casing. But that would give us a high tone. On to the next. Very interesting high tone here. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of just tons and tons and tons of nails. And also a huge amount of coal ashes in this yard. I think that is because you need a fire in a house up here in the North Woods from the end of September all the way into May, probably until Memorial Day. So that must have been just a huge amount of coal that they had to burn and get rid of the ashes. So that would explain that. On to the next. Oh gee, another nail. I don't know why I'm getting faked out by these. Normally I can tell. I wonder if it's this really loamy, sandy soil. They sound different in Pennsylvania than here in New York. Huh. Well, on to the next. Okay. I think this is from somewhat later than the 1920s. Don't you? But I would say that this is the most far out find that we have made. Wow. Peace. I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, that goes in the interesting things thing. I'm guessing that was 60s, maybe early 70s. Gosh, that still makes it 50 years, half a century. I love it. And we're no closer to peace. On to the next. Super high, super high tone, but that's why we found ourselves a copper pipe. And I don't think we're gonna pull that out, but it certainly explains the 96. Nope, ain't gonna happen, Captain. But hey, at least it wasn't a rusty nail, right?
Well, we have finished our hunt. It has cost me about 45 black fly bites, but that's okay. We're not in it for the comfort. We did find some cool stuff, but not as much as maybe I thought. Let's take a look at what we've got here. We found the plate from the clock. Couldn't really see a date or a manufacturer. We found some bullet shells, including these two that were driven into each other with a hammer. I'd say that's from boys. Found a couple modern coins, a bunch of copper wire. We found a really cool, hey man, cool baby, wow, piece, necklace. And then we found these old pieces of horse tack, which is kind of cool. There's the old house, and then I also looked around what was once a store here in this village. So the sun is setting behind the railroad station down there, and we just had a really cool evening. At least the bugs liked it. Thanks for coming along. We didn't find a ton of stuff, but we did get to hold some history in our hand, and that's kind of why we're in it. So thanks for coming along. Hopefully you can maybe subscribe and join us on the next hunt. For me and the Black Flies, this is Steve checking out, and we will see you next time on History in the Hand. Remember, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. Next time on History in the Hand.